I get it. I'm actually learning. Like, wow. People are young adults, they are living their lives, but for us, like, your life revolves around school.
When I was applying, I was like, okay, 6 years, okay. Yeah, it's just 6 years, right?
When you see that patient in front of you and you realize that it's your responsibility to know and to apply that knowledge so you can help with that.
You don't just treat the problem.
Yeah.
You don't just treat the condition, but you rather treat the person as a whole.
Open the PDF,
That's how you
search
stress
for your
yourself.
student number and get out.
Exactly.
No one cares, bruh. Like,
It's true.
no one really cares.
I figured I could study for the quiz, like a whole chapter of physiology in 2 hours and win the test.
Then she says, this is the lowest mark I've seen in my 4 years.
So I think I was a bit arrogant at that time of my medical school career. So
I was crying. I even told my mother I was crying, guys. Like, I was really crying. I must at least be a good doctor because I might be the only one that actually understands these people.
I realized that I have to time manage, I have to start in advance and
Hey guys, welcome back to Becoming Health Namibia. This is our new series, Couch Talk.
I'm Innocent Paliso, going through my dermatology rotation currently.
My name is Helena and I'm currently rotating in orthopedics.
I'm Kristen and I'm currently rotating in urology.
my name is Bill and I'm in Peds. Okay. So the first time I remember failing, first year, I don't know if it was first or second semester, but it was when we were doing physiology online. And we used to write a quiz every week.
Online.
And you had to study. I don't remember what resources they gave us, but I remember having to rely a lot on
Guyton Hall
guys, yeah, on my
and Silverthorne.
So I think I was a bit arrogant at that time of my medical school career.
Still
So
is.
I figured I could study for the quiz, like a whole chapter of physiology in 2 hours and win the test. And I got a 30%. And I learned my lesson. I realized that I have to time manage, I have to start in advance, and I have to just make sure that I take the time to really understand the topics rather than trying to chase the pass grade or whatever.
So failing in med school, like, I don't know, it blocks you. Like when you fail something or a test, whatever, you're in this state for like 2 weeks or months of just feeling bad for yourself and feeling so depressed, and you're not even feeling bad that you failed. You're just thinking, oh my goodness, people saw that. People know I failed. No one cares, bruh. Like,
It's true.
no one really cares. No one will remember that, okay, in first year there's this other quiz that Kirsten got. Literally no one cares. In that moment, maybe one or two people might notice, but in the long run, it honestly doesn't matter. Like, you need to be able to pick yourself up quick, because now you're gonna affect your next test and your next quiz and the other modules. Like, you need to bounce back, because most people, the thing around failure that really gets them is the aspect of other people, like
Comparing yourself.
exactly.
To other
And people are also going through their things. You don't know. No one really cares about
Everyone
you.
is suffering.
Everyone is suffering.
We're all suffering in this
You
school.
think that
Honestly.
you're the only one there, but trust me, you're not the only one, and no one cares, and you're just beating yourself down for no absolute reason when you could just move on, bruh. Like, you won't even remember. Honestly, I'm fourth year now, and I don't remember those first year, second year things. I don't remember, bro. We move. Like, no one cares. You have to be able to
come back
bounce
stronger.
back.
Yeah, for me, I think the first time.
I know, you never fail.
Listen here. The first time I failed was in first year. The first physiology test. I didn't study. Like, to be honest, I didn't study because I didn't know how to study the module. Like, I didn't know how to start. So Mina, I just went to go write the test, and then I got like, I think, a 40%. And then like that was my first time getting a 40%. You know, I'm from high school, and then I used to get like, 80, 70. I was crying. I even called my mother. I was crying, guys. Like, I was really crying. And then my mom was like, Amma, you mustn't stress about things that are in the past. Like, now if you stress, it's not gonna add more marks on your test. It's not gonna bring back the paper, so you right. You have to move on, and you have to come back with a better approach, saying, okay, since I did this in the previous test, then I'm gonna do this, and yeah, you do better as you go on. So if you fail, you just have to look for another approach. Like let me think of something else. Let me see how I'm gonna improve this mark. So you just keep moving, and never compare yourself to others. I know it's hard, but like just try by all means. Don't compare yourself to your classmates. I know it's hard.
Open the PDF.
That's how you
search for your student number and get out.
Exactly.
Search for your student number and
like,
get out.
okay, I got 40. Everyone
is at 80,
90.
95,
I'm
70,
the dumbest in the whole
lowest.
class.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're getting the same pay at the end,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Yeah, we're gonna get the
Doesn't
same
matter.
salary at the end of the day.
Same salary,
Same
same degree.
Exactly.
Same degree. Move, guys. Don't look at whatever people are getting.
Okay, yeah, so I just hope my lecturer won't see this video. But yeah, so my first experience with failing was, okay, rather let me not focus on the first, but it was during my first year. There's this statistics module. Oh, guys, I don't know, I swear I didn't understand anything there. So what happened is, okay, I won't go through that whole story, but then what happened is I didn't study basically. I didn't have a lot going on actually. I just wanted to do a lot because you know what? It's just statistics. It's simple numbers, man. Yeah, numbers don't change. It's the same numbers we used to see in kindergarten.
Yeah.
So it's just statistics. Sharp. Weekend goes by. I'm writing my exam on Tuesday. Came back from Okahanja, I came back from another town. Monday around 5.
Is that exams?
Exams. Oh, guys. Anyways, yeah. There's that money that comes most. That's it.
NASFAB.
Yeah. So I went.
The kids were excited.
Anyways, I was out there doing the most. So I come back Monday around 6, and then I'm like, okay, let me just quickly take a nap. I'll probably wake up like at 10 or 12 and start studying. I did some house chores 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. 9 I said let me sleep, I'll wake up at 10 or 11 there. I slept at 9, I'm waking up, it's 7:20, 40 minutes to the exam. I haven't studied anything. I have not studied anything. I went to write that exam. God knows, I got 0 for the structured. That I know. Anyways, I won't reveal the true mark which I got, but so after the exam, marks come out, blah blah blah. Lecturer calls, and this lecturer is not a module lecturer. She's like one of the head of departments to say, yeah, and as well as responsible for like checking through the marks of all the students. Then she says, this is the lowest mark I've seen in my 4 years
Really?
of being an exams moderator.
Yeah,
It's it, man. It's it. So I'm in my mother's house. It's December holiday. When I get this call in December holiday, I'm in my mother's house, and I'm so depressed, guys. I don't know how to. I don't think my mom would see this video. Okay, but yeah, she. I told her the whole situation. I didn't actually tell her that I didn't study. I told her, Mom, I studied. Of course, guys. Why would you tell your parents you didn't study? I told her I studied, and then
All night.
of course, and then
just
that
panicked.
happened. So that was one of the strongest points, like where I had support from my family. You know, something we do is when we fail, what will make us more embarrassed is when you hide these things from your parents.
Yeah.
At the very least, you should, be open to the people who support you, and this sets you free in some sense. So then next year came. Einstein once said that stupidity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yeah.
So that's a quote I live by ever since. So you just do things differently. Something I learned about med school is that you study, you pass.
Yeah.
You don't study, you fail.
You fail. Yeah, it's true.
as simple as that. So just study.
Okay, coming into med school, I was a bit naive as well. I was also a bit uninformed about what medical school really entailed. The only impression that I had, or the only expectation that I had, were that it would be a tough course, simply because of how much respect society gives to people, or to doctors, or to people when they say, "Ah, actually, we should study medicine, we should to pursue a career in medicine," just from how much people looked up to you, or how much prestige was associated with it. I just thought that it would be a tough course, but I couldn't really picture exactly what it was. That was going to be hard.
Well, so getting into med school the first time, you watch all of those medical series. You get Grey's Anatomy, The Good Doctor, Chicago Med, and it sets the bar so high as to what your expectations are for medical school. But then, sure, when you get here, things are actually so different. Like, you expect what you see in the movies, a good hospital, kind doctors, just a few people who are bullies here and there, but then it's so much worse than that. It's hard to explain these guys, but yeah, I think someone else can carry on.
Personally, sorry, I didn't really expect like anything in medical school because I didn't really grow up watching medical series and all that. But what I thought when I finished my grade 12, I thought like I was done with school. So I didn't really expect like academic stress. Like I thought the academic stress was gonna go down, but when I came here,
Okay, so for me, personally, I expected to learn. Like, I thought I was gonna know things. I thought, but we are just trying to pass. You're not learning. You are barely understanding. You are just moving. I don't know. Things are so fast paced, and you're just trying to pass. Like, I thought by now I would know medical things. People will ask me, and I'll be able to just shoot, but it's not like that. It's different.
Oh, and also another thing I would like to mention is that you spend 12 years of school, primary school and high school as well, being taught by teachers, and they teach in such a way that they make you grasp concepts. Like, you understand stuff just from their teaching, but then you come to university, you guys are like 70 in a class. The lecture is just 1 hour. This is now being general with regards to how lecturing is carried out through university. Lecturing honestly is not the same as teaching. Like, in school you would learn so much from your classes.
You're teaching yourself.
it's
You're teaching yourself.
YouTube.
You teach yourself like 80%, and then the 20% which you don't understand, that's the lecturer's job.
Yeah, no, I must agree. In school, they make sure that no student is left behind, that everyone's on the same page. Yeah, you kind of have to fend for yourself. I mean, there's some provision for you to reach out for help, but for the most part, it feels like you're kind of left to your own devices.
And I actually thought that university was gonna be different from high school, but it's like kind of the same. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't know, maybe it was just my high school. You don't really feel like you are an adult. People are just, it's always school, and it's always school. Like, other people are experiencing university. People are young adults, they are living their lives, but for us, like, your life revolves around school. Like, you don't have a life. Basically, it's just like high school.
And also, I didn't think these 6 years were gonna be this long. Like, when I was applying, I was like, okay, 6 years, okay. It's just 6
How
years,
long
right?
will it be?
Yeah, it's not that long, but it's taking long. Like, people are graduating next year. Our age mates are gonna have jobs next year, and I'm still fighting for
We'll
my life.
basically be done by now if we just choose smartly, guys. Like,
Exactly.
don't just say I wanna be a doctor. I wanna be a doctor. Think.
What I love about medicine is, I think it's a noble occupation. Like, it's a job, or it's a form of employment. It's a career that serves the people. So it's selfless. You have to be selfless. You have to do it for the other people for you to thrive. And on top of that, it's pretty diverse in terms of what you can do with your degree, what career, what niche you can find yourself. So it opens a lot of doors, and it's fulfilling in terms of how it serves other people beyond just yourself.
So, I'm joking. Why I love medicine, I think it's because of the way it kind of humbles you. Like, you get to see so many different reasons for you to be grateful for everything you have in your life, or like for how healthy you are. And I like that it actually teaches you to take care of yourself, to take care of other people, and you get to use it like your whole life technically. Even if I drop out today, there's still something I can use, at home to help people out. And I love that there's always something that you can find in medicine that you love, like how he mentioned that it's so diverse. Even if till now you've been hating all the rotations. Maybe next year you go to psych and you actually like the rotation. Like there's always gonna be something in the year that you're gonna enjoy. There's gonna be a rotation that even if the others suck so badly, there's going to be that one rotation where you actually feel so welcome and you feel like I'm eating this rotation up and I'm enjoying it, and I wouldn't mind doing this for the rest of my life. You know, even if the 6 years are long, there's still something that's gonna like keep you going. There's that aspect that just keeps you interested and just keeps you involved in people's lives, and it changes you, man. Like I said, you become so not humble, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, humble also, but you just become a different person. You start to see life differently. You start to see people differently, treat people like human beings, and yeah. So
Okay, so something which I can also add on what they said is like you begin to appreciate life even in its simplest forms. Like there was a patient who they basically had a condition with their whole muscles, so it was becoming worse and worse. So this person could not walk, they could not hold a cup to drink water, they could not open their mouth because the muscles all throughout their body were so tense, you know. So they can't walk, but the moment you begin to understand why they can't walk, it's like a puzzle is solved. Like every time you get exposed to different people's conditions, you get exposed to different pieces of this puzzle, this big puzzle that's called life, and it's interesting. That's something I love about it.
Okay, for me, I feel like it's basically the same thing. It's like I love helping people, and after, let's say I click a patient and then, you know, I do everything for the patient, and then from there they say thank you so much. Like I feel so good. Like it's like I managed the patient. Like I already cured the condition. Like I feel so good. Like it's just a nice feeling. And also I am from like a marginalized tribe. I'm Demba, and like most Demba patients are not like understood in the hospital. Like there was a time where like a patient was being sent back. Like she was in the line, but she was being sent back because no one understands her. And then I think I was on call, and then I came, and then they're like, who speaks Demba? And then the lady was there, like she was like racking, she was like arguing, like these people are not even helping me. And then I saw her, and I'm like, there was another speaking to her, and then she was like, oh my god, like she was seeing an angel. Oh my god, thank you so much. So I just like I feel like I'm really doing like a difference in most people's lives. So that's what keeps motivating me. Like I must at least be a good doctor, because I might be the only one that actually understands these people, because they are such a small group.
Oh, and also just something that's stereotyped is like calls. Hey, you'd think that being on call like overnight is such a dreadful or a horrible experience, but most of the times I've enjoyed in the hospital was like when I'm on call, because you get to see so many interesting patients, and then when it's quiet, that's the time that doctors have fun.
Stories and
You know, so
and everything moves so fast on call, and I don't know why people wait for the night for interesting things to happen, and you see the wildest things on call that you wouldn't see like during the day. Like I remember surgery last year, the calls were optional, and I used to go every Friday. You'll find me there, but like it's interesting to see. The last reason why I'm actually motivated to keep doing this course is for my grandma. Like the reason why I'm continuing is like as she gets older, like, and maybe if she gets sick, I can actually be able to help, and I'll understand the condition. I love that one day, if maybe God forbid a doctor misses something, or like she's mismanaged in any sort of way, I can like pick it up and, you know, keep her around forever, basically.
Medicine is driven by the love that we have,
For
not
other
just
people.
for the degree, but for other people as well. The foundation of the curriculum is set so that you do your theory work in a space of about 2.5 years. Those 2.5 years, you spend so much time learning the theory of this and that, how the body works from the organism level going down to this level of the cells. Like, guys, we're taught so much, hey? And then you'd be like, oh no, it's in the middle of my third year now, I must have forgotten what I learned in my first year.
Yeah.
But then, you know, when as you go into the clinical rotations, you get this experience of like, it's kind of like a revision of what you learn, but your theory is being turned into practical work now. So you get to apply what you learned back then. And then you're like, oh, I remember this from first year actually. You know, someone told us that this and this does that, and then you are there with your patient now. It's a hotspot. The doctor asks you, hey, third year student, you just came out of anatomy.
That thing, your anatomy is fresh.
Yeah.
You just did it now.
That time I just
biochemistry.
Your micro is fresh.
So yeah, it's moments like that you actually, in as much as it's a workful experience, it's also it's full of learning. Like you get to learn so much. That's one thing I feel is interesting about the field of medicine. Guys, the human body is something beautiful. Like every day you see different patients, you get to learn something new, be it a new sickness, you know, you relate it to that patient's situation, and you get to understand like the livelihoods of people more than just the biological aspects of it. So
And it actually feels good when you have those moments in the hospital when you're like, oh, now I get it. Like that's the only good thing about medicine. When you actually feel the fruits of your labor, like you actually put two and two together and you're like, I get it. I'm actually learning. Like, wow.
And it's definitely, it's kind of a turning point in your learning as well as your mindset, because in the first 2 years you're kind of studying so you can pass. You don't really understand what you're studying for, but when you see that patient in front of you and you realize that it's your responsibility to know and to apply that knowledge so you can help them, that's when you become a bit more focused and you become a bit more driven.
Another good thing that I like about medicine actually is the way you learn from patients, like how you see something in a patient and in that moment you don't really think much of it, but then when you see it somewhere you're like, wait, that's why my patient had this and this, and you actually remember, oh, my patient was on this because of this condition. I like that you're actually learning from the people and they're not just faces, not just a logbook.
And you see, medicine is like it's such a subjective art. Hey, you can go onto the internet, you have a flu, you have a cough, your chest is probably paining, and then you just type up those symptoms you search them up on the internet, and Google gives you this. But then, mind you, you have a family history of what you have, these pre-comorbid conditions, which Google does not know about. So, the more we see patients, the more we are able to contextualize all of these conditions to individual patients. So, I think medicine in itself is about how much you get to know, not about people, but about everyone as a person.
As a whole
being. Something we are taught is when you treat someone, you don't just treat the problem. You don't just treat the condition, but you rather treat the person as a whole. So if there are social issues, you address those. If there are stressing factors at home, you bring those out and you see how you can handle them best. So I think I love working with people. That's why I'm here.
We are like at a level clinically where we are more exposed to patients, like interns, MOs, they just see the patients briefly. We actually have to get deep into the patients' lives and their conditions at home, and you actually discover like maybe they were neglected, or the reason why they didn't maybe follow up on their medications or conditions is because they couldn't, they didn't have transport. Like we are the main people that patients see. That's why some doctors are always like, but you guys know patients, so you guys are closer to patients, maybe it's easier for you guys to talk to patients. We hate those long histories, but they help.
They mustn't only see the pathology in the patient, like see the patient emotionally, like, because these people, it comes from within, like you must treat.
And they're going through it, hey. Like
Exactly.
you start seeing people, like you get these patients that are so rude for no reason, and then you actually think this person is suffering, like it's not their fault actually. So teaches you guys humanity. That's why med students are so like, older than most people our age. We are so
it's such a, in as much as we can see it as a course or what can I say? Yes, a program of which we're studying. It also is a discipline, and what makes this discipline special, not to talk down on other guys, but yes, people do financing, and that's brilliant, that's very good. People do agriculture, you know, we all depend on food. People mine diamonds, those are different, all of those are different disciplines, but when you come to medicine, we deal directly with the lives of people. You should have it at the back of the mind that you are being trained in a discipline in which you are going to help save not just one or two people, but it's like an entire community.
Yeah.
So it's not about you. It's about the people out there.
It's about the nation.
Saving life. Life is precious.
We
It's a
save
gift.
lives, guys.
Yeah. Exactly.